And joining us now, Tuhin Sinha, National Spokesperson of the BJP. We have Sajjan Kumar, political analyst. Manojit Mandal is a political analyst. Meeta Chakravarti, Congress spokesperson. Tausifur Rahman is the TMC spokesperson. Tuhin Sinha, what is giving BJP that confidence that you'll be able to breach that crucial percentage to ensure that you form the government? Because, of course, you are hovering around 39–40%, but you have to cross that you need another 5 to 6%. Where will that come from?
Well, good evening, Maria. Good evening, everybody. A very happy new year to everybody. You know, the reverse countdown of Mamata Banerjee government in Bengal has begun. The anti-incumbency is at an all-time high. There are 3 or 4 factors responsible for it. Crime has been, uncontrollable for this government. Moreover, after every act of criminality, serious criminality or a rape, Mamata Banerjee has this tendency of victim shaming to shield the culprits who one way or the other, seem to have some connection with TMC. We saw that in the RG Kaur case. We saw that, in Asansol, where for the first 24 hours, she fudged the details of the case. Number 2, her principal opposition to SIR stems out of the fact that she has been shielding illegal migrants. They have been legitimizing illegal migrants, and we saw many of those cases where fake Aadhaar cards were given to this on the basis of fake Aadhaar cards. They made voter IDs, and today she might be on a temple inauguration spree, but that shows how precarious her situation will be till the time Mamata Banerjee apologizes for her stand on CAA, till the time she apologizes for her opposition to Waqf Amendment Act. No Hindu in Bengal would forgive her. In fact, what happened to Dipu Chandra Das in Bangladesh about 10 days ago, we saw that happening to Hargobind Das in Murshidabad. And what preceded that incident? Hargobind Das was assassinated. Just 10 more seconds. Mamata Banerjee was provoking the Muslim community against the Waqf Amendment Act. So Mamata Banerjee has been complicit in all the violence which Bengal has seen in recent years.
Okay. Tausifur Rahman, is there a sense that, a BJP which is certainly on a high after their Bihar consolidation would be going all out in Bengal again? And you may have managed to put up that fight in 2021 and again in 2024, but this time around, it's almost like a tsunami coming your way.
Good evening, Maria, and good evening to everyone. Happy New Year to everyone as well. Maria, this is nothing new. We have been seeing this tsunami, so-called tsunami, in every election from 2014 to 2025. I mean, we call them as a migratory bird, and we are just focused on our work. I mean, if you hear the BJP spokesperson or the leaders or the home minister, he is a BJP leader as well. So, I mean, you see, they will not talk about the development, hum aakar kya kar sakte hain. They will talk about, again, Hindu, Muslim, Mandir, Masjid, minority, majority, certainty, whatsoever. But it's okay. I mean, that's their job to say, and we respect that as well. But the All India Trinamool Congress under the leadership of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee remains firmly focused on Bengal and the upcoming elections. Mamata Banerjee has taught the Bangla Birodi. This is why we call Bangla Birodi. BJP value, given them a value lesson. But again, Maria, it's a very important thing. The political philosophy of Mamata Bandaphadia is very clear. Elections are won on the ground, not on social media or media channels. I mean, since special intensive revision started in Bengal, I mean, All India Trinamool Congress under her leadership has been fighting booth by booth. I mean, exposing attempts to delete legitimate Bengali voters, as you have seen. There's a councillor from Howrah. I mean, he's a living guy. He's a human being as well. I mean, usko maar diya gaya, ye bolti hai, mar chuka. So, such things coming on apart cannot divert election policies or election philosophy.
Okay. I mean, so we'll talk about SIR, but let me also bring in Meeta Chakravarti before I bring in the analysts. Meeta Chakravarti, is the Congress really in the picture anywhere in Bengal? Or have you ceded ground completely that you have no hope?
Okay, first of all, good evening to all your viewers. Good evening to all my co-panelists as well, and a very happy new year. Of course, we are there in the picture. Last year we did not perform as well as we would have wanted, but from South Malda, Isha Khan Chaudhary, not Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, but Isha Khan Chaudhary got elected and was sent to the Indian Parliament. So, of course, we are very much there in the picture, as you correctly pointed out, in Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's constituency in Murshidabad, as well as in Malda, in Uttar Dinajpur, in North Bengal. Congress still is holding on to its bastion and to its organizational base. We do have significant vote share there. Number one. Number two, is there anti-incumbency against the TMC? Of course, there's anti-incumbency. There are law and order issues. There's women security issue, rising unemployment, lack of industrialization, lack of development, lack of jobs being created. However, our political discourse, which should have been on development issues and holding the current state government accountable for its failure, is now completely being centered on Topi and Tilak, Mandir versus Masjid. A complete binary is being set where development issues are completely
But
ignored.
shouldn't efforts be made that if there is an anti-incumbency vote, what makes you think that it will be the Congress that will be the beneficiary? If there is an anti-Mamta vote, it will be going to the principal challenger here, where the BJP is firmly placed in being a challenger to Mamta Banerjee.
I do not know on which basis you are saying, because if you see
I'm speaking about on the basis of the vote share, ma'am.
Okay, so let
Vote
me
share,
quote
2021 and 2024. In both these elections, BJP's vote share was around 39 to 40%. Yes, please, go ahead.
Allow me to make my limited point. If you see BJP's performance in 2019, where they had 18 Lok Sabha MPs and it came down to 12 last year.
But vote share did not decline.
Yes, there was a slight decline in the vote share and definitely a huge decline in the number of representatives that they sent to the parliament. BJP has been on a decline. And let me make a very quick point. A few days back, on 24th of December, a migrant worker named Jewel Rana from Murshidabad was actually brutally killed, mob lynched in Odisha for speaking in Bengali. What is our home minister was in the state for 3 days. We welcome him. However, what is the home minister doing about the attack that is happening on Bengali migrant workers in different BJP ruled state? Bengalis are very proud of linguistic identity.
Will you respond to that? The challenge is that the BJP faces this repeated question from Bhadralok, that the linguistic identity that Bengal so much relishes is something that...
Sonar Bangla in Assam, a song that was written by Rabindranath Tagore in 1905. You do not
have a cultural disconnect.
Understand our history.
You have a cultural disconnect is the charge.
You know, you are asking this question to a party which was founded by a Bengali, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Had it not been for Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, Bengal, maybe, Bengal would not have been a part of India. And even today, our working president, Nitin Nabeenji, went to Kalibadi in Delhi to celebrate Kalpatru Divas. They would not even know what Kalpatru Divas is. So, for us, it is not a political, for us, it is not a political battle. It is a battle to save the soul of Bengal, because the kind of demography distortion which Mamata Banerjee has brazenly, promoted, the way she has promoted people like Humayun Kabir, who now have gone out of hand and who now, are contradicting Mamata Banerjee herself. I think, it's about time Bengal's civilizational identity is saved, and that is what we are fighting for.
Manojit Mandal, is the challenge for Mamata Banerjee now certainly about ensuring that there is no violence and also sending the right picture, sending the right message vis-a-vis women's security. After the RG car incident and the protests continuing for days, the investigation being seen as something in which the state government was trying to protect the perpetrators, is there something that has to be done strongly, a message sent, particularly on the law and order front?
Let me wish Happy New Year to you and all the panelists and also to the audience. Maria, if you go back to 2020, 2021, we were on a different platform. We were talking about something else at that point of time. How many people are changing side? And starting from Mukul Rai to Shubhendu Adhikari, they were all in a kind of spree to change sides and joining BJP. I think that was the most challenging time. I'm speaking purely from the political perspective of a political analyst. That was a really challenging time for Mamata Ji. But that particular storm, I think, was tremendously overcome by Mamta Di. Today's Trinamool Congress, with the aid and active involvement of Abhishek Banerjee, and look at the way he has risen in Indian politics for the last 5 years. You are talking about Mamta Di, fine. Mamta Di is definitely the indisputable leader of the party. But the actual organization is now being handled by
Okay.
Mr. Abhishek Banerjee. And look at his rise in the last 5 years, even on the national stage and even on the international stage.
Okay,
And
we'll talk
today's
about
TMC
Abhishek
is
Banerjee's
far-
role a little later on the show,
right.
but let me
So
bring in
this TMC
Sajjan Kumar. Sajjan Kumar, in 2021, we had discussed a lot about the Matua voters. We had talked about how Bengals also has very strong caste identities. The BJP has managed to retain its vote share, but where will that extra 4 to 5% come from that's needed for the party to form the government in the state?
Yes, first, with regard to the Matua voters, this time also you see on the ground, the sentiment is mixed. One, in the wake of ongoing SIR exercise, many of the Matuas who came late, say after 2003, they are facing some difficulty because the CAA exercise has not been completed, one. But that doesn't mean that they are willing to go back to TMC. I mean, the overwhelming sentiment still is with BJP, that is one, though they are frustrated with the local BJP leadership. This is one. With regard to the remaining 4 to 5%, that's a tough task for BJP to accomplish. One, because if you see 2021 arithmetic, the average winning margin of TMC against BJP was around 30 to 30,000 votes. So that was the average winning margin per seat that TMC won against the BJP. While BJP's victory margin against TMC average on 77 seats was around 14,000. So certainly TMC was winning the seats against BJP with a far greater numerics. But you go on the ground, and I have visited in different parts of Bengal recently, and one thing is there. The desperation with regard to TMC, the willingness to change is more consolidated on the ground. But that doesn't mean that they are willing to trust BJP. In 2021, people on the ground were quite vocal for change. Why? Because they were referring to 2019 Lok Sabha performance of the BJP, and therefore they were more confident. This time when you see, the reference is 2024 Lok Sabha election. So certainly while on the ground you see a larger sentiment which is critical of TMC, that includes many of the passion of TMC in terms of demography, many of the Bhadloks who were considering BJP as outsider. This time you see a sense of defeatism with regard to TMC, but that somehow doesn't automatically translate into a positive sentiment for BJP in terms of having the trust that party is capable. So no to Mamata doesn't automatically become yes to BJP, and there comes the organizational...
what does it mean then for the third players? Is there really a third player in Bengal, or should we be seeing this and reading this election as purely a bipolar contest?
It's going to be purely a bipolar. Parties may claim, Humayun Kabir may claim, CPM may claim, Congress all may claim, but voters are quite clear, and that is a pan-Indian sentiment. They do not waste their vote. They may like CPM for the past track record on certain factors, but when it comes to vote, it's going to be a TMC versus BJP, and that is why BJP is going to be a default beneficiary. But to what extent will it be 4 to 5%? Difficult to say at this juncture.
Okay, let's bring in the two challenges. I mean, the battle lines here. Tausif and Tuhin on the screen now, please. Tuhin, go ahead. The challenge for the BJP, of course, is also coming from within. That you do not have a very defined state leadership which is seen as an alternative to a very aggressive and liked chief minister. She's a popular chief minister.
Maria, you were asking where would this additional 5%, 6% vote for BJP come from? You know, please understand this is a bipolar contest because Congress is nowhere in the picture. Congress is as non-existent in West Bengal as they are in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and many other places. So it's a bipolar contest, and it would be quite similar to Delhi. You saw what happened to Arvind Kejriwal after being in power for 11 years. Towards the last few weeks, the effect of anti-incumbency suddenly, it culminates. It is very visible on the ground, and that build-up is already visible in West Bengal. Like I said, there are so many factors. The brazenness with which TMC cadres, members of the TMC have been involved in crime, due to protection from the state government. The way Hindus are being harassed in different parts of Bengal, obviously, like I mentioned, there was a precedent. There were certain incidents leading to the violence in Murshidabad, and of course, whether it is teachers recruitment scam, whether it is ration scam, the hordes of cash found out from the houses of
time for
TMC leaders.
Tausif, it's going to be an important battle for Mamata Banerjee, but then she is not like any other leader or any other regional player. Everybody knows that Mamata Banerjee knows her craft, her political acumen is second to none. She understands what BJP is eyeing for, and that's why they started preparing for the SIR exercise much before and even while it was ongoing in Bihar. So we know the preparations which have gone into place for the SIR. Please go ahead. Your last word here, Tausif.
Mariaji, it's a very simple process. I'm just not a spokesperson, but I stay on ground as well. But I have a very big problem, and I'm very sad. Sometimes I feel upset as well. When BJP starts speaking about Bengal, I don't understand why they demean Bengal, why they only talk about Hindus, why they don't talk about 9 crore people staying in Bengal, because they are the same people who gave vote to BJP with 18 MP seats, but they only talk about one community. There are a lot of communities, not only minority or the majority. There are a lot of communities. This is where the difference starts. And of course, you are right, Mariaji. We cannot take this election lightly, but not because of BJP. We even take Panchayat, Gram Panchayat, corporates, MLA, MPs election very seriously, not because of BJP again. Because this is the same BJP, we aaj aayenge aur kal chale jayenge. But that's not the problem.
Okay.
But understand one thing. What about SIR now? I mean, we also question the selective deployment of micro observers in West Bengal. The SIR process underway in several states across the country. Mariaji, please let me complete. Apart from West Bengal, it is being conducted in states such as Tamil Nadu.
We will get enough and more time to debate Bengal because the battle for Bengal has just begun. It will become sharper and perhaps more interesting. So thank you so much. Wishing all of you a wonderful new year. Tuhin Sinha, Sajjan Kumar, Manojit Mandal, Meeta Chakravarti and Tausifur Rahman. That's all from me. All the viewers, have a safe new year and a healthy one and a healthy, prosperous 2026. Thanks for watching.